Bunker spill on the ship, tumpahan minyak saat bunker.
This incident is based on the experiences of the UK P&I Club. Accidents like the one you're about to see can and do happen. As you watch this short clip, ask yourself, could this happen on my ship? A bulk carrier was to bunker 250 metric tons of intermediate fuel oil from a supply barge. The bunkers were to be received in a pair of empty topside tanks, each with a capacity of 200 cubic meters. The company's safety management system procedures stated that bunker tanks were not to be filled in excess of 85% capacity, which corresponded to a minimum ullage of 55 centimeters. The chief engineer delegated the task of performing the bunkering operation to the third engineer. After the bunker transfer hose was connected, the operation was started at 15:20 hours, filling only the starboard side tank. At 16:30, the third engineer recorded the ullage of the tank at 51 centimeters, and yet bunkering operations continued. At 16:35, he saw that the ullage had reduced to 35 centimeters. He rushed to the engine room to divert the bunkers into the empty portside tank. However, by the time he reached the valve station, the starboard side tank was already overflowing on deck, with oil spilling overboard. So how did this happen? This was a poorly planned bunkering operation, demonstrating a serious neglect of the company SMS procedures. The bunkering checklist was completed by the chief engineer on his office PC, instead of being done with the participation of the third engineer at the site of the job, resulting in some checks not being performed. The failure of the third engineer to closely monitor the filling of the tank and his lack of awareness of the minimum ullage figure led to a critical loss of control. He was not properly supported during the operation and was not in ready radio communication with other crew members or the bunker barge personnel. The bunker tank overflowed from both the forward and aft air ventilators. At the aft ventilator, the save-all quickly filled up with oil, which then spilled onto the main deck. At the forward ventilator, the save-all did not fill up, but oil was still able to escape because the drain plug had not been fitted. And although the main deck scuppers were plugged, oil was able to flow over the deck edge guttering and into the sea. The following practices could have prevented this accident. Bunkering operations should be performed in strict compliance with SMS procedures. Bunkering plans are to be carefully considered by the chief engineer and discussed with the bunkering team. Checklists need to be diligently completed at the site of the task, not treated as a tick-box exercise. Bunkering is not a one-person job. It requires teamwork and good communication with ship and barge personnel. A save-all is not a save-all if the drain plugs are not fitted. Now that you've seen this video, ask yourself these questions. What personal action can you commit to avoid an incident like this on your ship? What are the procedures and controls on your ship that would prevent this from happening? What could cause those procedures and controls to fail? What can be done to make the procedures and controls more effective?